Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today's video is going to be on this very easy, glowy, peachy nude kind of makeup look, very appropriate for the summers. So I'll be starting off with foundation. I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation in the shade 3W Tawny. I've recently bought this from Nykaa and I am absolutely loving this foundation. It's supposed to be full coverage, matte finish, but I've noticed if I do my skincare really well before applying this, it kind of gives me a dewy look. As you can see, my skin looks quite dewy at this point. So if you have dry skin like I do and you really want to try this foundation, then if you do your skincare well, it's definitely going to give you a dewy finish, and it's really a long wear foundation. I really like the finish of this also. It's an amazing foundation. It's a bit expensive, but honestly, if you really want to buy this foundation and if you have the budget, you should definitely buy it. For concealer, I've used the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Golden Beige, and I've applied it on the usual areas I usually apply concealer to. And I'll be blending it with this brush by, I think the brand is Shani. I've also bought this from Nykaa, and this again is a very good product. Again, a little bit expensive, so if you don't want to invest in it, don't do, but if you have the budget, you should definitely buy this. It's an amazing product. So by setting my eyelids, I've used the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I just used it because I had it. I've seen a lot of YouTubers use it for setting their eyelids. I just wanted to see the difference. So for the rest of my face, I'm using the translucent powder by the Balm. I'm just using it with a fluffy brush. I didn't want to apply too much powder because I kind of like the dewiness on my skin right now. So I just lightly dusted some powder, and you can see the finish on my skin. It's really nice. It's a combination of all those products I just applied. So my crease, I've used those two brown shades I was pointing at. I kind of edited out that part, I don't know how. And then I used that orange shade I was pointing at, and I'm focusing it mainly on the outer V of my eye, and I'll be dragging it slightly onto the crease. I'm trying to keep the eye look very simple. If you don't want to do eyeshadows, you can totally skip it. It's not necessary to do eyeshadows, honestly. I'm trying to keep the makeup look quite simple. So if you don't want to use eyeshadows, you can totally skip it. Now for the rest of my eyelids, I used this Mary Louminizer highlighter, and I took it on the same fluffy crease brush I used to apply that orange shade. Now if you really want to make this look intense, you can do this step with your fingers, or maybe you can use a dome shaped flat brush to apply it to make it more intense. But I just wanted a little bit shine on my eyelid, so I used the same fluffy crease brush, and it also keeps the look a little simple. So for my lower lash line, I use the Colossal Kajal. Now if you don't want a black Kajal, you can even use a brown Kajal, or if you want to switch up the colors, you can use a blue, green, or any other color on your lower lashes, lower lash line, and it's still going to look amazing. And I'm just blending it slightly with that same orange shade I used on my outer V. And I'm taking it I'm doing this step with a pencil brush. I think you can even do it with a smudger brush, or you can do this even with a earbud if you don't have any of these brushes. So instead of applying an eyeliner or a kajal on my upper lash line, which I usually do, I thought of keeping it a little simple and blown out. So I'm just taking a black eyeshadow from the same palette I used on a smudger brush, and I'm just very easy applying this shadow very close to my upper lash line. It's just like giving an illusion of wearing a liner, but not really wearing a liner. So it looks quite blown out. And then all you have to do is curl your lashes and apply some mascara. If you want to add lashes to this look, you can definitely do. I usually don't wear lashes, so I'm not going to do that. I have a bunch of lashes in my collection, but I never use them. For eyebrows, I'm not doing too much. Honestly, I've not done my eyebrows. I mean, I've not done threading in a year since the lockdown started last year, so they're not in a very good shape. I just groomed them somehow at home, and that's why I don't really do I don't apply a lot of product to my eyebrows anymore. So I'll be doing a little bit of contouring with this Natio palette that I have. It's an amazing palette. I've had it for quite some time. I don't know why I stopped using it. Anyway, I don't do a lot of contouring, but I'm trying it recently since the lockdown started last year. I'm trying to perfect my contouring skills, and this is an amazing product. I'm taking a combination of both these contouring shades in the palette. One is quite light for me and one is quite dark. That the mixture of those two gives me an amazing combination. As you can see, it is a perfect shade for me to contour, and it's going to suit a lot of Indian skin tones, and it's quite an affordable palette. I'm not sure if it's still available at Nykaa because that's where I had bought it from. And a lot of people on YouTube used to use this palette until a few years ago. Nobody talks about it anymore, but it's an amazing palette, and if you don't want to invest on those expensive contouring palettes, you should definitely try this. And I'll be also contouring my nose today slightly. I don't know, my nose looks quite strange after the foundation application. I don't have the perfect nose, so I'm just slightly contouring this, and I think I'm getting better with my nose contouring. Just a little bit of shadow. You should never apply too much product for nose contouring. That's my opinion. And this is again a new thing that I'm trying. I think I've seen people do this with a lot of powder, but I didn't really want to do that. As I said, I didn't want to apply too much powder to my face anyway. So I'm just taking this very thin, flat kind of brush, which is again a contouring brush. I thought it's perfect for this step. So just applied a little bit of powder, and this is basically to clean the contour so it looks quite crisp and not quite blown out, because if you've really made any mistake, this is a way to correct it. And then for blush, I'm using this Nykaa Duo. This one is in the shade Malibu Barbie. I'm taking the light pink shade. I really like this blush duo. I'm going to buy another one from the same range. It's amazing. I'll be retouching my blush after my lipstick application. I'm using the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Stockholm, and this is the perfect nude for me. As you can see, if you are of my skin tone, this is amazing, and you can definitely try this, and it's quite an affordable product, and they're available, actually all the shades are available on Nykaa, and this is an amazing nude for my skin tone. And I think I forgot to record it, but I've also, for highlighter, I use the Mary Louminizer. I think I must have edited that part out, and I'm just retouching my blush here, and that's the finished look. As you can see, it's quite easy to do. You can skip the steps you don't want to include, and it's still going to be perfect. So it's amazing for summers. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will